it is so much harder to find someone to date after 50 if you are not needy for a man to support you financially. That is a big difference. I have found that most people who get married in their 20s or 30s, if they're good relationship material, they will stay married for decades. I was married 25 years. That is a really long time. That does show that I am a relationship person. I can handle being in a relationship and do well in it. But at this point in my life, after I got divorced, I was no longer willing to compromise on so many different things that I was willing to compromise on when I was younger. And so I have not dated anyone because I found the men that I met severely lacking in being either interesting or emotionally developed or sexually um, passionate with me or just being emotionally available or wanting to date me. Like finding that match has just been like not that easy. And most people do get married in their 20s or 30s. So the number of eligible people really shrinks with age. And then with age, people's weaknesses come out. Someone who seems like a good catch at 25 might be an alcoholic at 50. Um, and then also I'm in Southern California, which is very liberal, and I find that men are very pressured to be like, like during the lockdown to wear their little mask, and that was a turnoff. I really wanted men to stand up and take a stand and say no mask, or to stand up to stand for something. I'm looking for men who will stand for something. Like, I like some of these journalists and peace activists who stand for something. Like the guy at the Gray Zone, he stands for something. Judge Napolitano, he stands for something. I'm not saying I find them attractive, but I'm saying they stand for something, and that's what I want. I don't want a man who goes to work, comes home, barbecues, and goes to bed and puts his mask on. Like, that's not what I want. I want someone who's a free thinker, who's independent, and who stands for something. That's really hard to find in Southern California. I think it's more common to find in other places, perhaps. The other issue I ran into is that I do tend to be more attracted to men who are still very much in their physical energy, because I'm very much in my physical energy, and most women in their 50s are not really working out. They're more interested in a guy for his money or his intellectual capacity, and they're not really tied into, does that man have good animal spirits? Is he like in his physicality? And so to me, that's important. You could consider me an outlier. People do say that I'm an outlier. I'm just sharing my experience. So the only man I've ever met over 65 who was hot is Kennedy. I have met Kennedy a couple times, the John Kennedy who's running for president, because I went to two of his fundraisers. I splurged and bought the tickets, and I have photos with him. And he's very masculine. He's very strong. I'm sure he takes testosterone. I'm just guessing, because he's jacked and he can do push-ups and all kinds of stuff, and he's hot. And I'm like, man, if guys at 70 look like that, I'm down for 70. But most guys that age, they're maybe doing some cardio, they're not using their muscles, and even if they're interesting and have money, I'm just not turned on enough to want to start a relationship with someone like that. I have met a lot of men over the years that I either thought they were too boring or they were just not good in bed. Some of them wanted to date me. And the other problem with men that I found is that when I was younger, men would pursue me. And in other places, they do, like when I go to other states that are more Republican leaning, they do ask me out or check me out or look at me. But San Diego men don't look at me. They sometimes look at me at the gym or talk to me, but they don't ask me out. And then also getting older and just like people who work at home or who are not like in school anymore, we're just not around in those social circles with a lot of single people. Like, it's so easy to meet single people when we're younger. I met my ex-husband in college. So you're in college, you're surrounded by tens of thousands of single people, all who've got like great dreams and great things that they want to do. So the older people who are in their 60s and 70s and dating, they're often very involved in their social circle. They have a big circle of friends. They go out, they do take trips, they go to dinners and events and the theater. I know people like that. They're well-to-do people. They're going to the opera and stuff like that. And that's another thing that's against me because I really don't like to be around people that much. I don't have a friendship circle. I do have a few friends, but they don't like to go out where I like to go out. And when I do go out by myself, which I often do, everyone around me is like elderly couples that are together or women in groups. I don't see single men going out or approaching me. So, for all those reasons, I have remained single for uh, how long has it been? 11 years now. Um, yes, that's why I'm single. I just think it's harder now. If I really want, and also, I'm around a lot of men because my bookkeeping clients, they're males and they're very attentive to me, and I get a lot of interaction with men that way, which I enjoy. So I don't have that need for like men missing in my life. If I didn't have my male bookkeeping clients, I would go crazy, frankly, because I like men. I do find it disappointing that men don't come up and start conversations and ask me out. I find that disappointing. It's something that I'm used to. And finding men who are like educated and interesting and fit. It seems there's a shortage of that. It seems like more and more our society is going towards like follow the group, don't think for yourself. And I think that I'm more attracted to men, like I said, who are committed to a cause, who are in pursuit of their cause, of their mission. Like start a peace march, do a thing. That excites me. And if I were around someone like that who was really like passionately in love with his mission and his purpose, who stood for something. Not these whiny guys who leave comments on my YouTube channel, but some of the great guys who leave comments on my channel. And the kind of guys that are already married. I tend to like men who are like relationship men. I don't want to, not like guys who have addiction issues or emotionally volatile or controlling, but like decent guys. And those guys are usually married, and I've come across many of them, and those guys are usually already married. So there's really a shortage of the type of men that I like, and I think I make a lot of my videos. It was like, okay, if we have more men who are like committed to a mission and physically fit and who ask women out, we need a world of more men like that, like the opposite of the incels, so that women like me have someone to date. I'm also going to link with you a video came across the other day from a gentleman who usually does videos on what's it called, like getting ready, like prepping. And he decided to make a video on dating after 50, because what he found is that the women over 50 all have issues, drug issues, financial issues, mistreating their children, different things like that. And I did have an occasion to talk to someone on the phone the other day. His last relationship was with a woman who had no money. She ended up moving in. He didn't really want her to, but he let her. And then it just went downhill from there. His ex-wife was a meth addict. Like, there are a lot of really troubled women out there who treat their kids badly, are abusive to men, take drugs, are alcoholics, don't have their finances in order. Oh yeah, the guy on the video over 50, he was saying that the last girlfriend he had, she slept 16 hours a day. Like, there's so many losers out there, like women who are losers, men who are losers. And these are the people that you see out in the single world, but there's some good ones, like that guy who's the prepper. He seems like a decent guy, but I think he just lives in a small town. And if you live in a small town, it's hard to meet people. But even me living in San Diego, it's harder because I go places. I go to the opera, I go to the plays, I go out to dinner. And men are not going out alone. That's the problem. These single men, they're not going out alone. So I don't know where I would meet someone like that. I mean, I guess I could go to a car show or something. I maybe I should go to like a Porsche car show or Porsche dealership on the weekends. But again, I kind of like my men a little bit younger. I'm like that woman who gives advice on the internet. What's her name? Susan Winter. She loves younger men. And I do too. I do like my men younger. And that's something that I should use that to my advantage, because there are men in their 40s who love older women. And they often do not know how to get an older woman, because women usually want a man who's older. So that's probably what I should do, is just set my sights on someone maybe 10 years younger, 15 years younger. and just see what comes of it. Because that would excite me, like a younger man who's on a mission. But again, that's the kind of guy everyone wants. So I kind of gave up and I thought, well, I could never get a guy like that. But you never know what turns people on. You would be surprised. Some guys, some guys my age specifically are turned on by women my age. And some guys younger are specifically turned on by women my age. That is a thing. Not every man wants a younger woman. So maybe I sold myself short as I'm making this video. I should just show some interest in some of these younger guys I see at the gym. I do, but more of that and let them know I'm interested, kind of giving them the green light. But yeah, it's just me explaining things, I just really don't really know what else to do about it. So kind of what I did about it is I just kind of shut down that part of myself that was looking for a relationship and kind of went with the motto of enjoy the life you have. And frankly, also the downside of being in a relationship with any people always want things. They take energy and they want things. They want attention. They want time. And I don't need people to give me anything. So when people are in my life and they want to talk to me or they want advice or they want to run things by me, then they're just taking from me because I would just be happier just being left alone, frankly. So I'm a homebody. I'm very happy just being alone. So meeting a guy who would be okay with that. I have a hummingbird out there. So cute. But meeting a guy who's on that same level, who just likes to do his own stuff and is not like super needy would be like so cool. Someone where it doesn't feel like they're draining my energy because I really like being around them. But being around other people, they have needs and wants. And it's better for me to be around no one than to be around someone who has needs and wants because I don't really get anything out of them being around me, honestly. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And that's another reason I've been single, I guess, because I'm really just so content with my own company and I see people as being a lot of work. And, I have my phone. I watch so many YouTube videos and I get so much distraction, perhaps, or enjoyment out of them. I have a beautiful home. I'm looking at my flowers. I see the sunset from my window. I live in San Diego. I mean, I don't feel like there's anything missing. So if you're asking, is there something wrong with me for not being in a relationship? Well, I don't know. Maybe there's nothing wrong with me, and maybe there is. I just, I just feel like I'm content. I'm content with how things are. So that's just my take. But check out the guy in that video I'm talking about. I'm going to put it in the description.